everybody, it's Mo, and I'm here with Chelsi, Program Manager of Jasper County CASA, and today we're going to learn a little bit about what they do and some other things you need to know. So let's get started with who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, I am Chelsi from Jasper County CASA, and I get to be the Program Manager at our organization. So I get to supervise some really amazing staff and volunteers from our community that are serving children in foster care.
Amazing. And so for those who don't know, what is it that Jasper County CASA does?
Yeah, so CASAs are court-appointed special advocates who are volunteers from our community that serve children in foster care by advocating for their health, their education, and they build a trusted relationship with them.
Yeah, and you know what's really fun? So we were talking earlier about how this got started. Will you share a little bit about why this came to be?
Yes. So it was the late 70s in Seattle. A judge there just felt like, man, I don't have enough information to make these big decisions for kids. So then National CASA was born, and in 2019 we got started here in Jasper County.
Yeah, and that's so huge because you're right, it's so important to make sure that children in situations that they didn't ask to be put into are placed in situations where they have someone to advocate for them, and you know, in that situation like what you're talking about, a judge doesn't always have what they need, so that's where you come in. So will you share a little bit about what the individuals do to help make sure that judge does have the information? Do they work for you? Are they volunteers? How does that work?
Yeah, we have a small staff of 7 that support about 100 volunteers right now that are serving 200 kids. So we have a little bit of room to grow, but we do work really hard to make sure we're getting to know the kids. That's the most important thing. We want to know what they want. We also get to make a recommendation in the courtroom to say what we think is in their best interest.
And you only can do that when you've spent time with these kids. So you have a couple
Yes.
different types of volunteers. Can you explain what that looks like?
We do have some people that really prefer to work with younger kids, and they get to have lots of fun playing outside and coloring and things like that with them. And then with older kids, they really enjoy, you know, eating out or spending time just talking, getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's so important too. So this really looks like, for those who, by the way, they're looking for volunteers. So, before we get into that next step, I do want to touch on this. You do have an opportunity to help more kids. You have about 500 kids, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what does that look like if you were able to get more volunteers?
Yeah, our hope is that every child in Jasper County would be able to have a volunteer as they come into foster care. We're most effective when we can start at the beginning of the case.
Yeah.
So right now we're serving just under 200, and there are 500 in Jasper County in foster care every night.
So that's a huge opportunity to make a difference. And you know, we think about volunteering and we think about how do we make an impact in the world. Well, let's make an impact right here in Joplin, in the Jasper County area, because these are the kids who are going to be a part of the future of this community, and let's really set them up. And there's so many great people in our community who absolutely have the means to do that, both with their time and then also financially, potentially. Do you guys usually work with them on that? How does that work in terms of the volunteer process?
Yeah, so we have volunteers who will apply, and then we take them through a pretty extensive training to prepare them for this role, and then we support them as they go.
Yeah, that's so huge. So you're not just going to be dumped out there and on your own. You're really going to have the tools that you need to support the kids the best you can and make a huge impact in the future of this area. So if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, this is a really, really great one. So usually you said that this is about a 2-year process, correct?
It is. Yeah, that's the typical length of a case or the amount of time kids are in foster care.
Yeah, and so one of the reasons that you talked about with me earlier that this is so huge is, you know, it's important that someone can start with them and really stay with them, because, you know, you don't want somebody kind of bouncing in and out of your life. You want that person to be a through line, correct? Kind of someone like a home base, right?
Yeah, we really strive to be consistent, caring adults for these kids. They face all sorts of adversity, even being brought into foster care, and then they may have to move throughout their time in care, which may also mean school changes. And that's just really difficult for kids to face.
Yeah, it's a lot of big themes that unfortunately these kids are having to face. So having really solid, great people in their lives is a huge piece of the success of that individual. So is there anything else that we're missing? I feel like we covered several of the things that we talked about. We really wanted to make sure that we were sharing. Is there anything else we've missed?
Yeah. I think it's just our main thing is that we need volunteers. We can't do it without people in our community who have a heart for kids and want to help.
Yeah. And how can they find you if they'd like to be a volunteer?
Sure. The best place is probably our website. It's jascocasa.org. You can also give us a call at the office. It's 417-680-3250.
Awesome. Well, we need your help. So call the number. No, I'm just kidding. But we really do. And we really thank you all. I mean, chamber members are real good at volunteering. So this is a great place to start. So thank you all for watching this video. And thank you for being here with me today in this beautiful courtroom. If you guys have checked out the new Juvenile Center, you should, because it's really great. So once again, thanks for having me. And I hope you guys will check out Jasper County CASA and maybe consider being a volunteer.